Inside the stories that affect you. This is Inside KELOLAND.
Good evening and thanks for having us in. KELOLAND Media Group is celebrating 20 years of our Tradition of Caring program, committing to public service throughout our viewing area. And we've recently awarded grants to 11 local organizations. Tonight we introduce you to a few of those winners. From the Alzheimer's Association of South Dakota, which dedicates its energy to helping both those with the disease and their families. To the Reach Literacy program, helping people overcome obstacles and learn to read. And we'll also share tonight how you can make someone's winter a little safer by volunteering your time. Well, you're home for the holidays and maybe you're seeing an aging parent or grandparent for the first time in a while. Their memory or actions may seem a bit off. Could it be Alzheimer's? That's a scary realization with a flood of questions. Joining us today to talk about everything from the warning signs to where you can find help is Leslie Morrow with the South Dakota Alzheimer's Association.
Thank you, Brady.
Yeah, thanks for being on with us. You know, a lot of us do think that the memory loss, that's a big sign, but what else is there? Is there more to it than that?
You know, we say anything that interrupts your daily life, a change that you might see. Memory loss is a very obvious one, but sometimes it's a change in personality, in their behaviors. Maybe they always loved to socialize and now all of a sudden they're pulling away, withdrawing a little bit. They don't like that anymore. Their favorite hobby, if they like to golf, they don't like to do those types of things. Suddenly maybe extra moody, you know, again, a big shift in what you'd normally see, a change in their personality.
So it's almost like the person that you knew is not really there anymore.
Well, and in the early stages, they still very much are there, but it's a slight shift, but enough that you realize, oh, it's not just lack of sleep or a bad mood. There's something's different going on here.
Yeah, so and then why is early detection so important when it comes to this disease?
You know, we hear a lot of times, I think that's one of the top things we hear from folks is, why would I ever want to get a diagnosis when indeed we do not have a cure yet for this disease? But there are so many things that are critical to knowing that you have it. First of all, to get your planning in place. That is very important for people. And it also brings a great amount of peace for family members, for the person with the disease to know you've talked it through. You have your affairs in order, and now you can enjoy the rest of your days the way that you would like them to be in light of this disease. It also gives you the opportunity to take part in clinical trials because there is so much activity going on surrounding Alzheimer's that if there is a drug that someone would be eligible for, you can't do that unless you know for sure what you're dealing with. So we really encourage an early diagnosis.
Yeah, you bring up a good point. In this case, ignorance is not bliss. You want, I would imagine families want to have time together and get their affairs in order because it can progress really quickly. It
can. This tricky part about this disease is that it looks different in everyone. And so in some cases, people will have a long time to the end of the disease, and other times you're right, it does go very quickly. And so we encourage them, you know, even with this diagnosis, there are moments of joy to be had. We want people to find that. We want them to be able to live out their lives despite this diagnosis as they want to, as best they can.
And you touched on it, but a diagnosis is made, and so what options do families have for their loved ones following that? You
know, I think really the most important thing is to have open communication, especially if it's a parent and there are a lot of siblings. You know, really open the lines of communication. Be very clear on what you're seeing with mom or dad. There's going to probably be a lot of opinions there, but it does no good to keep those hidden. Get it out there, and that's why the Alzheimer's Association is there, to help them navigate this disease so that if you're having trouble with deciding what's the best course, or we're seeing a behavior, what strategies do we have? We have a gerontologist on staff who helps families like that all the time as they make their way through this disease.
Yeah, and you said that it's different in everyone, so I imagine that having this knowledge and information at their hands gives caregivers the tools they need to make a plan that fits them the best.
Absolutely, and bringing up caregiving is a great point because we know they often take the brunt of this disease. So sometimes it's just a matter of venting. They need someone to talk to. They want to say, I've been doing all this and yet my loved one is still behaving this way because of the disease, and so they need a sounding board. We have support groups for that. We have great online tools for that. And again, our office is there to make sure that these caregivers don't get lost as well.
Is there an estimate how many caregivers are taking care of a loved one?
You know, right now we know about 17,000 people in the state have the disease, Alzheimer's specific, about 38,000 non-paid caregivers. So that's family and friends and neighbors that are pitching in. So 38,000 people in this state.
So that gives a person an idea that it doesn't just affect one person, it has a ripple effect.
Absolutely. And in fact, I just heard from a son recently, a grown son, who said, I wish what I could help people understand is that this disease, it's not just memory loss with this one person who has it. It really is a ripple effect. And that goes back to getting everybody as much as possible on the same page so they can fight together.
Yeah, and you talked about, caregivers having a sounding board, being able to, I guess take care of themselves. So is it important to really emphasize that there are resources that can help them maybe feel less stress in this very overwhelming task?
And I think that's a huge part. There is a tendency to be isolated, both by the person with the disease and the caregiver. They kind of get stuck into their pattern and don't reach out or don't talk to others. And so that's why we're there again. We have support groups there. If you don't feel comfortable leaving the house, there's even message boards and things like that. If people are tech savvy, to get connected with people, have those conversations. Feel where you can say whatever you want, because that other person is certainly going to understand if they're traveling the same road.
And well, in getting back to what we started talking about, if you do notice a relative who does seem a little off and you notice a shift, what's the best way to approach that?
I think, again, every situation is so different. One thing I could say is probably not a great idea is to bring it up when all of the family is there in a big public setting. We don't want to have that, what's a gentle conversation probably that should be had out in open. And while I said it's important to have the whole family on board, it's probably best to do that at a one-off type of conversation, you know what I mean? Or if it's with the person that you're seeing symptoms in, talk to them after the family event and say, how are you doing? Or what have you been seeing? And again, that's not going to be a magic conversation either. Sometimes they're going to be, a little bit not excited to have that conversation.
It's a heavy
it is.
Topic, yeah.
So, but again, we're there for that, and as much as you can is to go gently and really check in with that person and see what you can glean from what they are able to tell you.
Well, before we take a quick break, it's a dark diagnosis and it's not an easy road, but does it give you comfort knowing that the Alzheimer's Association is there to help families?
It certainly gives me comfort. What I wish is that other people could understand that same comfort, knowing that they are not alone and that there are resources to help them, that this is not something to keep quiet about, to be embarrassed about. It is a disease just like any other, and it's a difficult one. With a diagnosis that a length of time can last anywhere from 2 to 20 years, the average being about 8 to 9 years, that's a long time to deal with this disease, and so they need all the help they can get.
Well, thank you for sharing this information with us.
Thanks for the time.
Yeah. All right, well, we are going to take a quick break. When we come back, how Reach literacy is changing lives in KELOLAND. Stay with us. Welcome back to Inside KELOLAND. The ability to read. It's a skill you may take for granted, but not everyone has had that luxury of learning. That's where Reach Literacy comes into action. Joining us to talk about this program is Executive Director Paige Sarda. Thanks for being on with us.
You're welcome. Thank you.
It is really a skill that a lot of us do take for granted, and without it, people don't have.
I think it's kind of hard to imagine, right?
Yeah.
I mean, everything you do from the moment you get up, it has to do with reading, right? You probably check your phone, you turn on the TV, but you're reading closed caption, and so almost everything that you do revolves around that ability to read and to understand what you're reading.
Yeah, and so what is the focus of Reach Literacy?
Really, our primary skills, we work with adults, anybody 18 and older, and we work on reading, writing, and life skill building. Because it's nice that you know how to read and write, but if you can't build skills with that, we want you to be a productive member of society or more productive.
Well, do the skill levels vary for the people who come to you?
Pretty much. I mean, it's all across the board. I would say our primary, about 75% of our population would be considered like 4th grade reader and below. And we run the gamut from people who are pre-literate, meaning maybe they never had the opportunity to go to school in their own country and they never had the opportunity to work on education at all, so they might not even know their alphabet. They might know their language, they'd be able to speak their language but couldn't write in their own language. And then we have people who we're working with that might have graduate degrees in their own country, but they're still working on the language here.
Yeah. Well, and you pointed to this. The goal is not just about reading. Because like you said, even if people have those skills, if you don't know how to apply them, then you're kind of lost. So let's talk more about that.
Right. A lot of what we do in the materials that we do are really skill-based. So for example, if we're teaching you how to maybe make a phone call, how do you make that phone call? How do you talk on the phone? So there's language acquisition there. How do you write a note to your boss that say you're going to be in sick? Or, so instead of just not showing up to work, can you do that? How do you write a check? How do you write a money order? You know, some of that really basic stuff. We pull out the ballot when it's time to vote.
Yeah.
I mean, I thought it was really complicated this year, and it's my primary language,
right?
And so that's a big part of, you know, you really want people to think about that reading and writing as how it's applicable to them in everyday life.
Yeah, because like you said, if you don't know how to do something, you see that ballot, you see that check, it can all be very daunting.
Right. Or you'll just check whatever.
Yeah.
You know, and if it's something you really want to do, then we want you to be able to understand it.
Yeah. So, and is this, if someone is hesitant about asking for assistance, because a lot of people do feel ashamed about this, which, you know, let's erase the stigma, but how do you ease those concerns?
You know, we meet with people one-on-one right away and just kind of talk about what their experience has been. And so for a lot of folks, if English is their secondary language, they aren't as hesitant to reach out because it's a language acquisition issue a lot of times. And that's something if we have people who are English as a primary language, they might be, maybe they struggled in school, maybe that school was really hard for them, maybe they dropped out because of family issues, whatever the case may be. We usually talk to them right away and kind of find out what do they want, what's their goal. So it's not our program that we're pushing on them, it's how do you want this to come happen for you? What's your goal for this? I know you want to read, but like why? You know, what do you want to do with this? And I think that helps. Do
you find that people take a sense of pride and ownership when they are able to kind of steer their learning?
Yeah, I mean, because we have, for example, we had a gentleman that approached us a couple years ago, and his wife was dying of cancer. And she said, you have to learn how to read before I die because you have to be able to pay the bills. And so that was his primary goal, you know, and so we sort of focused on that first. But, you know, seeing him like blossom and grow, and he donates stuff to us now to give back to other people, that's a huge accomplishment for him.
That must be something to see.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is this just for adults?
Right now, we just work with adults 18 and older. And not that we don't love kids, right? And we know that, you know, reading starts in the home. But if reading starts in the home, then we need parents who are good readers.
Yeah.
And so if we can support those parents who have less opportunity for education once you're an adult, it gets hard, right? Like in school, there's lots of people to help you out. When you're an adult, not so much. So if we can help you read to your kids, help you give those materials, we think that's a win.
Yeah. Do you find, is it a ripple effect? Parents learn how to read, they want to pass that down to their kids.
I would say a lot of what we hear is I want my kids to do better in school, or that's a huge thing for people is that I got my kids through college and now it's time for me. So we have a lot of ladies that are, you know, cleaning apartments or cleaning houses, working at Morel's or at the hospital, and their kids went to college and they're like, now it's my time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when and where can people find classes and resources on this?
Sure. If you want to be a tutor, you can go to our website. We don't usually recommend people come to our website if you don't know how to read, right? It doesn't help you. So we ask you to give us a call, and it's just 332-2665, or you can stop on in, and we're happy to visit with you at any time.
And you have a bookstore as well.
We do have a bookstore.
Yeah.
It's a pretty great bookstore. So I'm not bragging, but it's a pretty great bookstore.
It's wonderful. And so why is that beneficial for people?
I mean, I think the thing that the bookstore sort of became an organic thing as a way for community members. Let's say you really love literacy, but you're not going to tutor because of your schedule or whatever. It's a great way for you to, you know, either donate books, buy books, or volunteer inside the bookstore. It's another way. But everything in the bookstore has been donated, and all the books that we sell back out of that bookstore go back to support our mission.
Yeah.
So it's just it's a win all the way around.
And you mentioned the man earlier about you know, needing to learn how to pay his bills. Are there any other success stories that when you see those you think, wow, I am in the right place making a difference?
Yeah, we just had a lady this year who passed her citizenship last year, like in April. And she voted for the first time this year.
Wow.
But they worked on the ballot for a long I mean, it's hard. And so they worked on the ballot. And the first time she got to vote, you know, her very first time. And so that was really impactful for her to be able to understand the ballot, be able to do it. And she had a huge sense of pride about that.
Yeah, if we could all take that woman's lesson and realize what a gift it is to be able to do that.
Seriously.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are there any upcoming events that you want to tell folks about out there?
Oh, absolutely. We always have stuff going on.
Get out your pens and pencils,
right,
everyone.
Right. So one of the big things we have is we have an event coming up called Elevate the Conversation, and that's really kind of geared at women. It's a 6-part series, once a month, really talking about issues towards women. So a lot of it's about weight, you know, kind of when does that ever go away? When do you quit talking about it? Never. Some is like, am I turning into my mother? Those kind of, you know, some of that kind of stuff. We have a series called What's on Your To Be Read list.
Okay.
Do you have a big To Be Read pile?
Oh gosh. The title's escaping me. There is a book that I've been wanting to read, but I can't remember it.
So we're going to meet up and kind of talk about, like, what are you reading? What do you want to read? Oh, I read that. That was great. Maybe push you along so you don't have 50 books on your nightstand. You actually push one to the front and read that. So we'll be doing that once a month through January through March. We have Brouhaha coming up in March, which is our large fundraiser, our storytelling event. So
I remember the title. It was Note to Self, that CBS series.
I think it's great that you can remember it.
You know, it was on the tip of my tongue. I don't know. Don't tell CBS.
Make a note to yourself.
Yeah. I see what you did there. Well, it was so great talking with you.
Thank you. Thanks.
All right, up next, how you can offer a helping hand in the daunting task of shoveling sidewalks this winter. Stay with us. Welcome back to Inside KELOLAND. When the snow starts piling up outside, most of us want to stay inside. Well, once it stops, you have just 48 hours to clear your sidewalk of snow and ice. Unfortunately, that's a big task for some people to tackle. That's where our next guest, Valerie Leitz, comes into action. Welcome and thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
So you are a coordinator for Adopt a Sidewalk.
I'm the director for Workers on Wheels, and Adopt a Sidewalk is one of our bigger programs.
Okay. So, and just give our viewers a sense of what do you do with all that?
Workers on Wheels is a program that helps people stay in their homes and age in place. We help with light housekeeping, light home repairs, trips to medical appointments, grocery shopping, and then a few years ago we added lawn mowing. Then last November in 2017, Helpline had been coordinating with the Department of Corrections on a program called Scoop It. We got a call from Helpline the first week in November. They had just gotten a call from the Department of Corrections saying, we don't have the budget this year, so we're not going to do Scoop It. They reached out to us because we do have the connections with volunteers that do that type of thing, and we know our population that they were helping. They handed us a list of 120 people, and the biggest snow event was 3 days later.
Oh wow! Was it that was that April one?
No, it was in November. So it was the first big snowstorm of the 2017-2018 snow season. And so we had reached out to our Workers on Wheels volunteers that we had, and a lot of them are of the age of the people that we're helping. So they weren't necessarily the people that we needed to be able to be out scooping the snow. So what we did was we narrowed the list down. Unfortunately, we had to take the 120 down some. We chose everyone on the list who was a Workers on Wheels client already. So we knew what their need was, where they were, and what they had from us already. And we reached out to some other volunteers, and we were able to help 45 people with 25 volunteers last year. Oh,
that's wonderful. So how has the response been to that?
I only have 20 volunteers this year instead of 25 so far, which is why I'm out hoping to find some more people that are willing to go out and help their neighbors. Sioux Falls is great for that, so I'm hoping that that's going to continue. We've reached out to churches and some service clubs and whatnot to try to do things, but we're still looking for more volunteers. I have about 100 people that I still need to find volunteers for.
Well, and here's a handy kind of list of what you're looking for. I mean, you're looking for help for people who have some health concerns or disabilities. You're cleaning a sidewalk and driveway, and it's, you know, it seems like a great opportunity for people if they want to get together with business groups, church groups, you know, spend some time with coworkers. It's like a team building thing.
Exactly. It would be great for a team. In fact, KELOLAND has a team going out for me. Oh, good. So we've got 3 houses assigned to the KELOLAND crew. And it's just a wonderful way to get out and help your neighbor. Yeah, it's a little thing that you can do to make someone's day. And how do people feel when, you know, that burden is lifted off of them when someone comes and cleans their sidewalk and driveway? I can't tell you how many times and how many notes and how many just voices I've heard saying, oh my, I don't know what I would do without these people. And it's everything throughout the whole year for Workers on Wheels, but definitely when it comes to the snow removal, that it's you know, they can't do it, and they have to. They don't want to be charged by the city. They want to be good citizens of the city still, because they have been for their whole lives, and this helps them continue to be that way. I remember this growing up in Minnesota. You know, my family, we had neighbors who were senior citizens and couldn't do it on their own. And I remember having fun with my dad, my sisters. We would shovel kind of down the block. So it doesn't hurt to help someone out, does it? Definitely. It makes you feel wonderful yourself, and they adore you for it. And then so. We showed that graphic and we've talked about this, but I want to emphasize again, what are you asking for volunteers? We're asking for volunteers to take on a homeowner or two or more.
Sky's the limit,
whatever they
everyone.
want. We do have a gentleman that's doing 10 different houses for us because
wow.
he has the equipment. But we want them to do it for the whole snow season so that this homeowner knows that they can depend that every time that snows, within 48 hours, their snow is going to get removed. And that's the other thing. You've got 48 hours to help this person.
Yeah.
So if you go home, you're at work, we had a snow event during the day, you go home, you do your own yard, you go to work tomorrow, you go to their house and do theirs after work. It works for everybody's schedule.
It's a good workout with all of the holiday meals, too.
Definitely. You got to burn some of those calories off.
And then I'll have you go over how can people get in touch with you.
Easiest way is to go out to our website and look under Workers on Wheels for activegenerations.org, or you can call directly to Workers on Wheels and talk to my coordinator, Ann Young. Her number is 333-3317, or you can just email Ann at WOW, Workers on Wheels, at activegen.org.
And are there any other great programs that you want to mention with Active Generations?
Well, Active Generations has 7 different programs. Our activity department is always busy with the 3,000 members, and we're always looking for more. We've got Meals on Wheels that's in desperate need of drivers, because we have a lot of snowbirds that are our volunteers for drivers. So we're looking for drivers. It's an hour commitment once a day throughout the week, and you can do it once a week, once a month. We don't care. We've got our Bridges, which needs job coaches. We have Daybreak that needs people that are just willing to help and talk to people and entertain them while they're at our Daybreak facilities. We have all sorts of, over 750 volunteers are needed to run our 7 departments.
Do you find that obviously the people who benefit from this, they are appreciative, but what do the volunteers say? Does this mean a lot to them too?
Oh, heavens yes. We have volunteers that have been committed to Active Generations in all of its different departments, and some of them are much more committed to one department than the other, but they're willing to step up and help for over 20-25 years each person. And the reason they do it is because they are Midwest nice and they can give back to the community that way, and it makes them feel better and it makes the community better. It
is a great community that we live in, and you must see a lot of awesome success stories. Is there anything that stands out in your mind?
The one, at least for the Adopt a Sidewalk program, the one that sticks out in my mind is we do have a lady who's about 85, 90 years old. She wasn't sure that her gentleman was going to show up because he didn't show up the first day, and it was halfway through the second day, and so she was getting a little nervous. And he showed up right as she was starting to scoop. Sent her, walked her back in the house, sat her down, made sure she had a cup of coffee, and then went back out and did it. And by the time he was back in to check on her, she had a pitcher of, or a thermos full of coffee for him, a whole bunch of goodies that she had baked while he was out scooping. So, and because she was just so helpful, grateful for his help and that he came and did what she needed.
That really puts a smile on your face.
Oh, yes, definitely.
And who can say no to holiday
Exactly,
goodies?
exactly.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for sharing this wonderful program with us. We appreciate it.
Thank you for letting me get the word out.
All right, we are going to take another quick break. Stay with us inside KELOLAND. We'll be right back. Oh, that's all the time we have for today, so be sure to join us again next week for more on what's going on inside KELOLAND.